Yes! I'm free! Freedom! Holy shit, I can do things now! If you guys didn't know, CIG has recently announced that they're extending the Race for Stand event into Alpha 4.3. Great news for any of you who are still struggling with completing this event. How long to Alpha 4.3? Who knows? The dev said a few more weeks into 4.3, which could mean it ends mid-patch, or could last the entirety of 4.3. No one really knows. Not for me though, cause, as you can see, I'm already done. I've already made a video about this event going into a lot of detail about it and the missions involved, so if you want to know about that stuff, I recommend you watch it, which I've linked in the description. But during my long, arduous 3-week grind, I found additional tricks that will make your Race for Stand grind a little bit faster and more pleasant, hopefully. So without further ado, let's begin. Starting with the Protect the Ship mission. I've already went over this in great detail in my previous video, but to put it briefly, you're tasked with protecting a cargo ship from hostiles. Now, the large ship mission isn't the easiest to solo, and you may fail the mission. If that happens, don't give up and fly away yet. After you kill all the remaining enemies, you can still loot the destroyed cargo ship and turn them in via the resource acquisition contract. You'll earn less money though, only getting 43,000 instead of the 60,000 from the original contract. But the cargo is all that matters. I have tried to double dip, destroying the cargo ship after saving and completing the mission, but the ship disappears too fast. Sometimes it might stick around after mission completion. You can try to destroy the cargo ship then and loot it, but you might get a crime stat. I don't know, I haven't successfully done it. Another trick I found came from a YouTube comment on my previous video. In that video, I suggested using hoverbikes for the large ship recovery missions. That turns out to be unnecessary. You can just use any ship, preferably a small, fast one, and fly straight to the lost cargo ship and EVA to it. And if it's a Hercules, you can use the elevator. I didn't know that the enemy AI doesn't recognize that you're not in the Hercules if you're inside the elevator. In addition, the game does take a while to update once you quantum to the mission beacon, but they always spawn at the same place, with the exception of Crusader, because of the yellow asteroid belt. Once you get there, look around for an asteroid mining base or a point of interest like a destroyed space station, then fly there and the cargo ship will almost always spawn where the white ship markers show up. I've done it so fast that I could commandeer the ship and fly it out of danger before enemy reinforcements show up, which kinda negates the whole purpose of hoverbikes. And as pointed out by a few people in the comments, you don't have to touch every cargo box with a tractor beam for them to be tractorable with the ATLS. You only need to turn off the ship's engines. Doing all this, you could do the cargo ship recovery mission from acceptance to completion in under 10 minutes. So you can do this 6 times an hour, netting you over 700 SU of minerals and 890,000 AOEC per hour. Theoretically, that means you could complete the reward track of a megacorp in 4 hours. And you want to accept the missions faster and you don't care about the money, have the resource acquisition contract active in the background and then abandon the recovery mission after reaching the space station so you can accept a new one sooner and not have to loiter around in your hangar waiting for a new one to show up after you're done. But what if you could do it a bit faster? Another comment in my video mentioned using a Polaris to store all the minerals, which okay, I can buy one, right? How much does it cost? Oh, well how do I get one in game? Oh, through Wicklow, right? Well, let's see. Oh, I guess I'm not getting one. Not for this event at least. I was still obsessed with the idea though, so I went with the next best thing, a Hull C, which you can buy from New Deal for about 60.5 million AOEC. By the way, did you know that a Hull C is almost 2.5 million AOEC cheaper than the C2 Hercules, which for cargo hauling seems like a no-brainer, or so I thought. For one, you can't land it on planets, especially at cities, except for Orison. Although you can land and take off on moons because of the weaker gravity, it's mostly a space-to-space hauler. So I thought, I could just park the Hull C in the middle of nowhere and just ferry cargo to it from the cargo recovery mission. The ship markers are kinda buggy. I would quantum out to the middle of nowhere, backspace myself, and when I check the map, the ship marker is in a completely different location from where I backspaced. So to reduce the chance of that happening, I suggest doing it with a different ship first, and then use the Hull C to quantum to wherever the other ship marker is at, assuming it's far enough away from the space station. From there, I would accept large cargo recovery missions and do them as normal, but instead of flying to the space station, I fly them to my Hull C. Only unload boxes that are at least 16 SCUs because it's faster, accept the next cargo recovery mission, and rinse and repeat. Now here's the thing, unloading cargo from the Hull C is still broken. I would park my Hull C in those big ass cubes and it would say it's transferring cargo, and then it would say it's finished. But when I take a look, I see it did fuck all. There are a couple ways around this. One is to use a raft or Hercules to ferry cargo back and forth from the Hull C to the space station. It's safer, but slower and inefficient, and almost kind of defeats the purpose of getting a Hull C in the first place. Another way is to force the Hull C into a hangar so you can use the freight elevators. But how do you do that? Well, I did manage to do it once, but shit hit the fan. So I figured to prevent that from happening, I guess I should have mentioned it earlier. Shoot off the bottom panels of the Hull C. You don't need them anyways. You'll still have plenty of cargo capacity without them. Alright, so to get this to work, it's surprisingly simple, but it took me a while to figure it out. Once you're ready to fly the Hull C back to the space station, all you need to do is lie down on the bed in the living area. I don't think you need to hit the snooze button and log out because this still worked when the bed logging was bugged, but if you want to, you can. Then get out of the bed, go to the cockpit, and if you hover over this switch, you'll notice you can fold the cargo spindles even though there's still cargo on them. You can also fold them by hitting left, alt, and K, which is the default keybind. If you can do that, then you are golden. All you need to do is fly to the space station and hail it. It will assign you a docking port, which is fine. Just go ahead and dock it, then go to the ASOP terminal and store it. Before you do that though, take a look at the Hull C when it's docked to make sure the spindles are still folded. If they have unfolded when it's docked, then this won't work and you'll have to try again. And that's it! Once you retrieve the Hull C, it will spawn in your large hangar. And because you shot off the bottom panels, it won't freak out, and you can unload them into the freight elevator. There is a bug where if you bedlog in your ship and log back in, the ship marker will disappear and you will no longer be able to quantum travel to your ship. So if you want to bedlog, you can, but once you log back in, it'd be prudent to store it at a space station and then retrieve it before you do more cargo collecting. And that's how you use the Hull C for the event. Is it faster? I don't know, I never used it to its full extent. By the time I figured it out, I was almost done with the event, so in a way it was kind of a waste of money. And even though it's kind of an exploit, this is the only way you can directly unload minerals from your Hull C to the space station without using a second ship, which again would make it impractical. If you made it this far into the video, thank you so much for watching, I really appreciate it. And if you enjoyed or found this video helpful, hit that like button, subscribe and ring that bell. Currently, it's a close race with Hurston taking a slight lead over Microtech, and Microtech slightly leading Crusader and ArcCorp. You know, anything can happen, and as the saying goes in sports, it ain't over till it's over. Judging by the comments you guys posted in my previous video, it seems like the entire purpose of this event is fixing cargo and cargo elevators in this game. Maybe because not enough people were doing cargo hauling, and they were not getting enough data, so this event was the only way to do that. It reminds me of an event they did a few months ago called Supply or Die, which was very similar to this event. It even used the same minerals, except for tungsten. But the payouts were more generous, and you could get stuff outside of missions like from bounties or commodity shops. But the fact they've clamped down on it definitely suggests this event was intended to fix cargo. Although they may have stated that somewhere and I just didn't see it. If you've yet to start doing this event, well, this could be a good way of plowing through all the rewards very quickly. Speaking of which, if you want to know more about the race for Stan and detailed information about the other missions in this event, then I highly recommend you watch this video right here.